Get ready for a whirlwind of combat sports news. Joe Rogan is calling out a controversial UFC London fight. Meanwhile, Movsar Evloev is making a bold statement in the featherweight division, likely punching his ticket to a title shot. And in some massive news, an undefeated former UFC star is teasing a huge Jake Paul announcement that could shake up the fight world. Plus, we're diving into the fight finishes from UFC London and breaking down all the action. You do not want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLune 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Joe Rogan slams a crazy bad UFC London fight. The legendary podcast host didn't hold back his criticism after Michael Page secured a decision win over Sam Patterson at UFC Fight Night 270. Rogan pointed out the obvious issue. These two were training partners, leading to a fight with minimal action. He questioned the booking, suggesting the UFC might have had trouble finding opponents for MVP in London. With only 39 significant strikes landed between them over 15 minutes, Rogan compared it to the notoriously dull Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis bout, calling it crazy bad. This performance raises questions about Michael Page's future and how other fighters might approach facing him after seeing this strategy of minimal engagement. Don't go anywhere, because what happened next in the featherweight division could change everything. We're talking about a fighter who just punched his ticket to a potential title shot. Movsar Evloev is likely heading for a title shot after a hard-fought majority decision win over Lerone Murphy at UFC Fight Night in London. Despite a point deduction for a second-round groin kick, Evloev showcased his wrestling prowess, even attempting some spinning strikes. Murphy, however, displayed impressive defense, evading grappling and landing his own kicks. The fight went the distance, with Evloev securing the win with scores of 48-46 on two judges' cards, with the third scoring it a draw after the deduction. This victory against an undefeated opponent puts Evloev squarely in the conversation for a featherweight title bout against Alexander Volkanovski. But the biggest fight news might be brewing outside the octagon, with a major announcement on the horizon. Stay tuned as we reveal who's teasing a fight with Jake Paul. Could Jake Paul be stepping into the MMA world with a bang? An undefeated former UFC star has the fight community buzzing with a tease of a massive announcement coming soon, potentially for the upcoming Ronda Rousey vs. Gina Carano card on Netflix. This fighter, with a perfect 15-0 professional MMA record, was notably released from the UFC after a win over Manel Kape. The event, hosted by MVP MMA, is already stacked with big names like Francis Ngannou versus Philippe Lins and Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry. This potential addition signals serious ambition from both Netflix and Jake Paul's most valuable promotions to make a significant impact in the MMA landscape. And speaking of impact, let's talk about the fights that actually delivered the fireworks. We're breaking down the finishes from the latest UFC London card. UFC London delivered some electrifying finishes, even if the overall action wasn't always there. While UFC Fight Night 270 saw 4 TKO victories, it's a far cry from the explosive debut London event in 2022, which boasted 9 finishes in 12 fights. In contrast, recent London cards have seen a much higher percentage of fights going to decision, with only about a 36% finish rate over the last 5 events. Despite the trend, the 4 TKO wins at UFC Fight Night 270 did earn fighters significant bonuses, with 2 receiving $100,000 and 2 others $25,000. Check out all 4 of those stoppages in the video to see the moments that lit up the O2 arena. That's all the fight news for today, but we'll be back with more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Alright, fight fans, that's a wrap. Joe Rogan sounded off on a dull UFC London bout, Movsar Evloev likely earned a title shot with his win, an undefeated star is teasing a huge Jake Paul announcement, and we saw some key finishes at UFC London. Don't miss out on any of the action, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you never miss an update, leave a comment with your thoughts, and follow us on all our social media channels for more exclusive content. We'll see you next time.